everybody! Time for a new episode. Yeah. More saplings and shit. And World Gen trees. I hope the episode last night wasn't too much for you. That was a long motherfucker. This one's going to be long too. And you know what? We're not even going to get through all of it. Because I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what I'm doing, and we're just going to get in here and we're going to fuck around and we're going to make it happen, Captain. So, what we've got here is, this is the one that we pretty much copied out of Vanilla, right? And we specified that we can do the height on this, so we're going to bring this down a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of 5, and let's do a little bit of 3. And what we're actually going to do is we are going to take this line and we are going to do that. And we're going to do that right there, and we're going to put it up there, and we're going to change this to a maple tree. Because we want our maple tree to look like the other vanilla trees. You know what I mean? We don't have any textures for them yet. As in, and when I say we, I mean as in me, you know. We as in me, yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually copy this guy right here, and we're going to paste it back in here. And it's going to ask for a new name because there's already one in there, and we're going to just change that from poplar to maple, like so. And it should like that. Yep, it likes that. So let's do this, because we're going to come back to case number 1. We're going to come back to this poplar tree. And it's the same right now, so that's no big deal. But let's jump in. There's not going to be any textures because I haven't created any textures. So, fuck it. I don't know. Bear with me. It's going to look like shit. But you'll get the point. You'll understand what it looks like. There's our super tall-ass poplar tree. Let's clear out an area. Nice little area. There we go. And let's get a maple sapling now. And I gotta figure out those textures. What's going on with that? Yep. Boom. There we go. So regular size tree. Between 5 and 3. You know what? And we could probably even do 4 and 3. But that's okay. This is good. This is good for a maple tree. Poplar tree is good for the height, but the leaves just aren't doing what we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to get in here, and we are going to make our own poplar tree class. We're going to say new World Gen Poplar Tree. And I spent most of the day trying to figure this out. And it's going to give us an error because we're not matched up with the constructor. But that's okay, because this file we are pretty much going to gut. We're going to gut that out. So, yeah, let's actually just do this. Boop. Boop. There we go. Like so. Let's add our constructor. We actually don't need that. We don't need that. We can do that. And we are going to say false. Like so. Yep. What is it not like? Oh, add implemented methods. We need our generate method. Yay! Okay, so for the sake of what we need to do, var1 is a world. This is kind of the standard naming conventions we've been using this whole time. And these are chords. So we are going to get those all tuned up like they're supposed to be. Going to get rid of that. This is where we're going to do most of our work, but there's a couple of other methods that we want to do this, and I got the inspiration from Biomes of Plenty for doing this. So credit to those guys, credit to A-Dubs and all those guys, Glitch Fiend. for providing the inspiration on how to do this. I greatly appreciate it. So we'll have a couple of other methods that we reference in the generate method, which is, well, the first one is going to be a public void, and we are going to call this generate top. So we can generate the top of the tree. And in this, we're going to have world, and we are going to have int x, int y, and int z, like so. Next method is going to be generate branch. I really like the way these guys did it. They seriously know what they're doing. If you haven't played with the Biomes of Plenty mod, you are seriously missing out. Vanilla Worlds. And I think that's how it usually goes with most modding, is that like once you get into modding, unfortunately vanilla Minecraft just isn't the same anymore. I mean, I'll go back and I will play it, but I don't really have the fun that I do in how do you say in modded Minecraft. Yeah. We're going to have an int x, we're going to have an int y, we're going to have an int z, we're going to have an int q, p, and then an int q, like so. Lastly, last method that we're going to have is going to be public void build block, and this is going to consist of world. It's going to consist of int x, int y, int z, block, int meta, like so. So that pretty much does it. Alright, so let's get into this. Let's do this. I got an itch and I'm scratching it. So, we're going to do a while statement. We're going to start here, and we're actually just going to can that. It's going to give us an error, and that's okay, because it's going to take us a while to kind of get through all of this. So, let me explain this the best as I can. The best as I understand it, because like I said, I'm kind of making this up as I go. We're going to say while world dot is air block, and we're going to have our chords like so, and y is greater than 2. We are going to say y minus minus. If you are new to programming and you don't understand the basics of if statements, case statements, while, for loops, I really can't help you, because we're going to start delving into a lot of math, a lot of logic, and this is really the point where you got to roll out and you got to buy that Java for Dummies book. Torrent it, I don't know, you know, you gotta get that. Gotta get that. Block. And we're going to do this pretty much how we always do that. And that is to get the block. We're going to get it based on our chords, like so. And we need to do some checks on this block. So really what we're going to say is if this block does not equal blocks dot grass and block does not equal blocks dot dirt, we are going to return false. You guys understand what we're doing here? Really what we're saying is there's a sapling on the ground, right? And in the block that it's sitting on has to be either grass or dirt. It's a tree. We're not going to grow it on stone. We're not going to grow it on a fucking pumpkin or anything like that, right? It has to be those. So this else statement that we get into right here, this is really where the rest of the magic is going to happen. So, what is this going to look like? Sorry for the pauses. I'm doing some serious thinking here. We're going to do a for int I equals -2. I is less than or equal to 2 I++. So really what we're saying is that I is going to start out at -2, and as this increments, it's going to go to -1 to 0 to 1 to 2. And we're actually getting to 2 because we're using less than or equal to here. So we're starting out with -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. That's 5 iterations that this is going to go through. Okay? You following me so far? We're going to do another for loop right here. Int j equals -2. Come on, -2. And as long as j is less than or equal to 2, j++. I don't need that. Like so. So what are we going to be doing in the middle of this? Well, there's an if statement that we're going to be doing here. Right? So we are going to be saying that if world.isAirBlock and our chords, so we're going to have x, y, and z. However, we want x to be plus I. Y is going to be -1. And z is going to be plus j. Like so. And world dot is air block x, y, z. And we're going to have x plus I, y -2, and z plus j. And world is not equal to is air block x, y, z, and here we're going to have x plus I, just plain old y, and then z plus j. Here as well, we are going to return false. So we're going through and we're doing some checks here. First, we're making sure that the block that we're going to be putting it on is capable of supporting a tree, right? What we're doing here is we're verifying that the area around the tree consists of what we're looking for, right? So Y, really, we're right here. We don't want that to, this right here, we don't want that to be an air block, right? Follow me? Okay. We have 1, 2, 3. We are going to have an int base length is going to be equal to 4 plus random dot next int 6. Int branches is going to be equal to let's say 2 plus random dot next int 4. What we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to get this built, and then we're going to tinker with everything. I'm going to show you going through here how all of this is really happening. Int h equals 1. We're going to say that our block on plant grow, and we're going to have world xyz excuse me x y minus 1. So wherever okay, so the block itself is a sapling, right? What we're saying is on plant grow the block below it, and it has to be grass or dirt. And then our source x is just going to be x, y, and z. So what is our base length? Our base length, really what we're saying is it's going to be a minimum of 4. And what does this mean? Up to 10? A random number next to int 10? I believe that's what that means. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure. We're going to have to tinker with this. So what we're going to do next is we're going to do another for loop, and we're going to say int I equals 0 as long as I is less than base length. So whatever that comes out to be, I plus plus, we are going to use the method that we created below, and that is going to be build block world x y plus h and z. And what we're going to be using are going to be our Neocraft dot block log, and our metadata is going to be 1, because when we come back over here, remember metadata, this is 0, this is 1, so we want to make sure that we're using a poplar log here. Right? You following me? And then what we're going to do here is we're going to go h plus plus. So what are we doing? Right here, what we're doing is we're building the trunk of the tree. Right? So we're starting out, y is your coordinates, whatever those coordinates are. It's the block that this is on. So what it's going to do at first is it's going to put it on that same the block above, the block above. It's going to put a poplar log there, basically. It's going to increment that, so then the next time the y is going to be the next block up. So it's just building block after block after block after block after block, anywhere between 4 and 10, I believe. Anywhere between 4 and 10, going up and building the trunk of the tree. We're going to do int c equals 1. And we're going to do another for loop. So we're going to say for int I equals 0. No. Minus 1. I is less than 2. I plus plus. We needed that guy right there. And we have one too many of those. In here, we are going to reference... no, that's not what we wanted to do. We want to do branches here. Branches. This guy right here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to call one of our other methods, which is generate branch. And we're going to need to send some info to that. So we're going to get our world. We're going to get a random. We're going to get an x, a y plus h, a z, and a c. Z, I don't think C is... Yes, C is what we want. Yes, it is what we want. We're going to increment this. C++. Hey, 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 hey. If you know what that laugh is all about. Increment that. There we go. Next thing we're going to have is going to be generate top. And what we're going to do this is we're going to do the world. Yeah, we're going to do the world. We're going to do x. We're going to do y plus h. And we're going to do z like so. Just like that. And then we are going to finally return true. And what that should do is give us no error message up here. That's great. It doesn't like this because there are no arguments that we have for generate branch. Int p, int q. We're missing an argument on generate branch. That's because I put one too many in. I'm a dork. There we go. Alright, so let's generate this top. What is the top going to look like? Alright, so here we're going to get into some coordinates and some crazy stuff. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fire up vanilla. And we're going to be switching back and forth between vanilla and our environment. So that way I can kind of demonstrate what this is going to look like. Alright, this is good. This is looking good. I want to clear out some... Whoa. Whoa. Almost lost my life. Hello, hole. Okay, so anyways, really? It has to be in a fucking swamp? Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what? Village. Prepare your anuses. I am on the way. Oh, and they've got horses. Joy. Okay. So we're just going to fucking chill out there and we're going to listen to the sappy music. So generate top. Let's do this method. Let's do it. For int I is going to be equal -1, I is less than 2. Do I really need to do that? Why don't I just make it 0 and 3? Yeah. No. -1. I is less than 2. Hold up. Where's my drink at? Hold up. There we go. I've got my drink. My purple drink. It's not really purple. It's actually cherry Pepsi. Because I'm a party animal. So the reason that we want to do that, because there is a reason I will cover here in just a second. For int j equals -1 until j is less than 2, and then we're going to increment j plus plus, booyah, like that. So what are we going to do here? We are going to reference our build block method, which we have yet to build, and we're going to say world x plus -1, right? Y. Hello. Think, Nathan. Think. Y. Motherfuck. Plus J. And this is going to be a Neilcraft dot block leaf. And our metadata is going to be 1. And I'm not telling you why, because you should know that already. What is a fucking spiders, man? Are they like underneath me? This is just going to make me absolutely... Oh, hey, you know what I could do? I got an idea. Big bada boom. Mischief managed. Mischief managed. Now I gotta listen to those fuckers. Anyways. So whatever, back to this. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be building some block leaves. Block leaves. Right. So what we're saying is right here, this guy right here, and really what's happening is we're running through this. So we have -1, we have 0, we have 1. So we're running through this 3 times, right? And this doesn't actually want to be -1. It needs to be I. It starts out as -1. So we have a specific coordinate on the ground. And what we're going to do is we are going to pretend that this sponge is that block right there, right? Or actually, let's do this. Let's make it legit. Go away, play on. Thank you. So this sponge right here is our block. essentially, right? So what we're saying is that we're going to say x plus minus 1. Well, what does x plus minus 1 mean? Well, it's really just x minus 1. Oh. So, x minus 1, hopefully, are we pointing north? Sunsets in the west, so this is north. So, x minus 1 is going to be fuck off. Is going to be right there. It's going to do a y, which is going to be the same place, and it's going to do a z minus 1, which is right there. Okay? The next time it goes through, it's going to be a 0. So it's going to do a no, the y is going to stay the same. So it's not actually going to be there. So it's placing these two down. Seriously. I'm not fucking asking you again. Go. Man, just let a man work. So the next time it goes through on this code, so here we did the x plus 1, y is staying the same, so our vertical level is staying the same, and then z minus 1. So the next time this goes through, it's going to place 1 at x plus 0, y, and z plus 0, which is going to be here. I have this backwards. Yeah, I have this backwards. Sorry. So, it's going to be y is going to be the same. This is our center block, and we'll actually do the sponge. So, it is going to place it at x minus 1 and z minus 1. Right there. The next thing that it's going to do is it's going to place it at 0, 0, 0. So essentially it's going to be right there. The next time that it's going to do it, it's going to be at 1, 1, 1. Or 1. So x plus 1 and then z plus 1. Right there. So minus 1, 0, plus 1. That's more or less what that's going to look like. For starters. I believe. No, that can't even be it. That can't even remotely be it. You know what? Let's just do it, man. Let's just do it. Let's type it out. I've got what I feel like is a pretty good idea in my head of what this is supposed to look like. We're going to roll for it. We're going to go down 2 braces, and we are going to do... Move my mic. We're going to do build block, and this is going to consist of world, x, y, z, and it is going to be neilcraft.block bollocks neilcraft.blocklog metadata 1. The next one, what we're going to do is we're just going to actually copy and paste this, but we're going to change it to block leaf. Block leaf, like so. And what we're actually going to do is we are going to copy this 4 more times. So there we have it. Now if we leave it like this, it's putting the same block in the same location every fucking time, and we don't want it to do that. So really what we want to do here is we're going to say that we are going to do it x plus 1, and we are going to do it y plus 1. We're going to leave z the way that it is. We're going to do this x minus 1. and y plus 1, and z will stay the same. We are going to do this at x, y plus 1, y plus 1, and the z on each of these, we're going to have a z minus 1 and a z plus 1. This last one is actually going to be an x, a y plus 2, and a z. So really, what I'm thinking is going to happen when we do this, we're going to generate the top, right? It is going to look like, and we'll fire up vanilla again. Actually, you know what? No, we don't need vanilla. Fuck vanilla. We will go in here. Shit, I need some like open area. Okay, I got some open area here. Let's make it a little bit more. Make it a little bit more. So here is what I'm thinking is going to happen. We're going to have a poplar log. We're going to have our poplar leaves. And with the maths that we just did, they are going to be arranged in this fashion, like so. Savvy? That's what I'm imagining. We've got 5 leaf blocks. We've got 1 log block. One of those 5 leaf blocks. That actually does it for that. What we're going to do now is we need to generate our branches. What we're going to do here is we're going to actually keep this super, super simple. Okay. What we can actually do here is we're going to rob this piece of code right here, and we're going to start it out right here. And then what we're going to do below this is we are going to specify this stuff right here, like so. I can already tell you I know what this is going to do, and it's going to be fucking silly. Let's do our build block method, and then we can test this. So if world dot is air block on our x, on our y, on our z, or world dot get block, and this is again going to be our x, our y, our z, dot is leaves world xyz. Then we are going to say world dot set block, and we're going to have to make this up because I chose the wrong one. We are going to have xyz block meta 2. Boom, like so. Shall we test this? Should we find out whether or not this is just going to fucking implode in our face? I think we should. I think it's time. All right, let's do it. Do 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 do. God, I love just getting in here and fucking around and testing things. So where's our big one? There's our big one. That's what it used to look like. Let's get some distance. Let's maintain an appropriate amount of distance. So then that way, you know, we don't have outside interference, offsides, any penalties, anything like that. Finger time, if you know what I mean. Okay. You. What? Well, hello there. Amazing what you find. With a little diggy. Okay. Sapling poplar. Let's try to grow this bad boy. And nothing's happening. We are getting no growth. No growth whatsoever. Well, that's awkward. Yeah. What did I do? That should do it. That really should do it. Time set 0. And you fucking animals, go away. No. Fuck off. This is important stuff that we're doing here. Thank you. Alright. We'll steal your XPs. Let's take a peek. Let's take a peek at our generate code. This is all our Cyclops, which is... I went in and I tinkered with it, and I never fucking bothered to fix it. So that has nothing to do with what's going on here. So object... object is firing. You know what? Let's come back here. Let's take a peek. Make sure that everything is looking right. Clean up a little bit here and there. Yep. 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 Return false. Looking good. Looking good. Is that what we think it is? Yes, it is. Well, why doesn't it like it? I do not know. Wait a sec. Did I grab the right sapling? I'm positive I grabbed the right sapling. I'm almost sure of it. Sapling poplar. Yep. It's the right one. Tons of bone meal. Nothing's happening. Nothing is happening. Let's test. Just to be sure. There. Yep, so it likes that. Regular old tree. It's still using the poplar code. Yeah. That's weird. That's totally weird. Alright, I'm going to take a peek. I'll be back. So I think I figured it out. Several days later. 4 days later, to be honest. first thing, this is actually a boo-boo. We gotta fix that. That's a boo-boo. Let's tune that up. I agonized over this for a couple of days, trying to get it all figured out, and lo and behold, I don't know what's wrong. I'll just put it that way. For some reason, when I... where the fuck was I? I was right over here. For some reason, when I would put it down right in this area, probably due in part my proximity to that tree, it wouldn't grow. Wow, look at that. We gotta tune that up. So yeah, for some reason it just would not grow on that block, and I think it has to do with the proximity to this guy right here. So now that that's tuned up, let's go through and fix this shit up. Alright, so we've got our top that generates. That is pretty much good the way that it is. However, when we generate the leaves or the branches on the way down, we're not really getting anything, right? So we're offsetting the whoa. Okay, why? We're offsetting the X, we're offsetting the Z, but we really don't want to do how do I say? Well, let's go in here. I'll show you. Maybe this will make a little bit more sense when we get into it. Okay, so where is that tree that I just grew? It's right here, because it's gutless. Boom. See that? There's open spot right in there. It's open. It's not right there. So what we want to do is we want to fill that up with logs. How do we fill that up with logs? Well, what I think we want to do here is this right here. So it's actually saying y plus 2. So that is actually going up 2. So that gives us our 2 high. Down here, we're not actually putting anything in X and Z. So what we're going to do is we're going to do block world Y, X, Y, Z, Neilcraft dot block log 1. Alright. That's how we're going to troubleshoot this bad boy. Just like that. We're going to keep popping stuff in, and we're going to keep generating new trees, and we're going to see how it goes. We're going to have a shitload of trees by the time we're done. But that's okay, because we want it to be right. Right? Right. You'll see that I did quite a bit of this troubleshooting. So we will take this right here, and we are going to do a new tree, and look, it skips every other one. So it's actually putting in one right there, but it's not putting in one above it. So we need to make it do that. And this we don't really want it to. Well, yeah, we kind of do want it to go all the way up to there. So let's do that. We need to put one above it, right? So really what we're going to do is we're just going to take this, and we're going to adjust our whoa. We're going to adjust our y-axis to be y plus 1, like so. Alright. Hey, look at that. We've got it going up all the way, but not right there, so we've got to fix that. Where is our block leaf, block log? So really what we're going to do is we're actually just going to take this, and we want to go +1 on this. So we'll save that, and I think this is going to be the last one that we generate. And then we're going to do some tidy work, and we'll be all done. We will be all done. And this will be like a fucking enormously long episode. An episode. Boom. And voila, all the way up to the top. Sweet, so they're my poplar trees. Now, you'll see that they're pretty tall, right? We can adjust the height of these, just like this. So really what I'm saying is the base length is going to be at least 6. The branches are going to be at least 6 as well. So clean up. Well, shit, how do I describe it? My icons are the same for my saplings, right? But when I place them down, they're different. What? That's weird. So we have poplar, we have maple, but they appear the same. However, we put down a that, and we put down a that. Look at that. That won't do. That won't do. So, let's fix that. Let's fix that. We're going to go into items, and we're going to go into item sapling block, and item block metadata. With metadata. Item block with metadata. And what we need to do here is just actually reference the second block. Boom. Like so. Like so. And survey says, boom, they're different. Yay. Fucking cool. I'm lost. I am lost. I'm lost. I'm not really lost. I just have to fucking follow all the trees that I've made back to the beginning. I really need to come up with some textures for my maple tree. Right, because I built a couple of maple trees right here. They look like regular trees, except they, have poplar skins on them. Or am I actually using a poplar block? And I think I am. I think I am still, in fact, using... 1 and 1. Yep. So we actually want this to be 0 and 0 for our metadata. So that way it's maple and maple. Maple. I think that's about going to cover it. So, holy shit. Yeah, we did some sapling stuff. We did a whole bunch of World Gen stuff. Yeah, let me know what you think. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.